I got some bad news. Terence Bud Crawford, was he moving up in weight expecting to fight Canelo Payday? You want Payday? I know that. Alvarez. Very, very interesting proposition. Now, if you look on the screen, you'll see a picture of Terence Crawford. And I'll enlarge it for you for a second so you see. That is Terence Crawford on the far left. And to be honest, his face looks pretty full. His face looks pretty full, right? Meaning it looks like he was adding on weight, which makes sense if he was under the impression that he was going to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. So in lieu of the recent news, and in case you live under a rock and don't know, I've already made several videos and pieces of content. The same people who put out the rumor, and that's exactly what it was, a rumor that the fight was agreed and there was an agreement in place. Same people who put out the rumor and info, if we were going to call it that, that the fight was going to take place at the Raiders Allegiant Stadium. 2 days later, they came out and said the fight is done, not happening at all. And we're getting wind and different rumors in different directions. Canelo could fight Jake Paul. He could fight this guy, that guy. I guess we have to wait and see. It's so funny that some people still don't learn their lesson. We just went through this, and then now people are still spreading like rumors at this point. Like, just think about what I'm saying. The same people who lied and clickbaited and said the fight's done, here are the fighters' purses, this is the undercard, can't wait for the fight, Crawford, Canelo, are now breaking the news that Crawford, we don't know what he's going to do, but they're now breaking news that Canelo is fighting Jake Paul. Again, maybe you should wait until you hear it and get it confirmed from the people involved. Just a suggestion. How is it make sense where the same people who clearly got it wrong with Crawford Canelo are now delivering any news, let alone more Canelo news? They just told you 2 days ago that Canelo was fighting Crawford in September, just to tell you, oh, just kidding. Now they're not fighting, right? So I feel like this is what's wrong in boxing. And I've called ring out Riyadh season in Turkey because a lot of this is coming from them. We're hearing about Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, verbal agreement. Then they say they're not fighting. We heard about Teofimo Subriel Matias. Teofimo is going to fight Jaron Ennis. Then they're not fighting. Now we find out finally who Jaron Ennis is fighting, which is Stanionis. So if you were looking for some of the other names like Teo or Virgil Ortiz, you would be disappointed because you thought he was fighting another guy. We heard Ryan Garcia is fighting against Pitbull Cruz. Come to find out, days after, they said, nope, just kidding. He's fighting Rolly, a guy Pitbull Cruz knocked out. Same thing with Canelo Crawford. We have a fight done. This was what makes boxing look horrendous. And I've been calling it out, and now you have no choice but to understand it and see it my way. Now, back to Crawford. His face looks full. It looks like he was in the process or maybe even expecting to gain weight because we figured Canelo was fighting in May. I told you it makes no sense for Canelo's fight in September to be announced prior to us knowing who he's fighting in May. I was proven to be right with that line of thinking. We didn't know if Canelo was even fighting Crawford, and we didn't know if Crawford was going to take a tune-up in between. Some people were saying he was going to go straight to 168 and straight into the Canelo fight in September, which to me would hurt a fight like that because it's already a major jump up in weight. But then when you add another variable like ring rust and being out the ring a year, no tune-ups, not showing us how he looks at 168, you know, it just makes it bad. So to me, it looks like Crawford was bulking up for this occasion, face looking full, more rounded. He looks bigger than we've seen him. So now what is Terence Crawford going to do? That is my question for this video. I want to know from you guys, where do you even go? Canelo is likely fighting someone else. Well, not likely. He is fighting someone else. It's going to be a big money fight, so I'm not worried about that. But what does Crawford do here? Turkey assured him, I'm going to make you into a star. We're putting a lot of money behind you, and everything goes through Riyadh season. That's basically what he tweeted. So with that being said, what is their next move as far as that is concerned? Turkey says, and I quote, "They talk a lot about the fights, but what happens in the end is the final answers with us. Prepare soon for announcing the biggest schedule of the year in boxing history." So I can't wait to see how Crawford is going to bounce back from getting a Canelo fight to now not getting a Canelo fight. Who's there for him to fight that would even represent that type of paycheck without the promotion losing a ton of money by overpaying? Yes, you could give Crawford $50 million and put him in there with a Madrimov too, but you're going to lose a lot of money. They said the first fight lost upwards of $10 million. So that's going to be interesting. The other thing that's very interesting here for me is if Crawford was bulking up, now he's going to have to shave all that weight off, because it looks like he was bulking up. He's going to shave all that weight off to what? Go back down to 54, where he only has one fight? Or is he going to try to explore greatness at 160, 168? 160 is pretty dormant. There's not that many big fights that I could think of for him there. And in 168, I don't know if he wants, that's just a lot of weight. So you fighting Canelo also comes with an associated huge paycheck. So I think that's why Crawford wanted a Canelo fight. But is he going to be willing to fight top dogs or, you know, dangerous guys at 168 that don't come with that Canelo paycheck? So many questions, only time reveals. But like I tell you guys, a lot of low quality content available in boxing. Be very careful where you get your information from. This is a cautionary tale. A lot of people, they tell you, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And it's very apparent to me, a lot of people didn't heed this warning and they did the opposite. They said I was wrong. I was lying. They said I had no reason to be pessimistic and everything I was saying was not true. And come to find out, doesn't look to be the case. So what is Crawford going to do with this extra weight, and who is he going to fight? Let me know in the comment section and subscribe.